Hi folks, Kieran here again. Hope you're all good. Just thought I'd do another video about consciousness. I've done some videos before. I've sort of covered this a bit before, to be honest. But I've had some more recent thoughts about consciousness, so I thought I'd do another video about it. Yeah, basically, I was recently watching some videos on YouTube, which were an interview. The philosopher Colin McGinn was being interviewed by a guy called Robert Lawrence Kuhn, Kuhn. And I thought it was really interesting. Colin McGinn was saying some really interesting things. Don't fully agree with everything he said, but certainly very interesting stuff about mostly about consciousness. So basically, my recent thoughts are developing this idea that maybe the physical world doesn't exist, and there's just consciousness, and there's no physical stuff. My most major recent sort of development in my thinking is that I was thinking that maybe there's all the conscious experiences that could happen for some reason, or something, or a huge vast number, and we are just that. We have some experiences that you might have. I know this is pretty weird, but kind of one of the problems with that is to do with time, and time does seem to be sort of passing. Even when you're dreaming, time seems to pass, and I can imagine like last week being an illusion or something, but the way time drifts like second by second into the past, when I started talking, that was like a minute ago, and when I started talking about time, that was like 20 seconds ago, or whatever it is. Like, it just seemed to flow like a conveyor belt. I was just thinking that maybe time does exist, but there is no space or physical objects. So we could be kind of strings of experience, if you like, that go on in time, but there's no physical world, and also there's no interaction between these conscious experiences. And in fact, there may be just one conscious experience. Maybe there's only me. I'm the only person I've had direct evidence that is having a conscious experience. But then you probably think you're the one. If you're having a conscious experience with me talking now, then you're the conscious one. And I'm not conscious. So I don't think these conscious experiences interact. I guess they could do, but no particular. It seems like a simpler explanation to say that they don't interact. It's just an interesting thought about them interacting. But anyway, I guess I'm bringing time back into my my idea there. So I'm recapping a little bit of what I've said in previous videos. But why then why do I think this? Well, I mean, the physical world does seem to exist. A couple of problems with consciousness. One is that why it's this extra thing. We're in a universe with physical dimension to it, but also this conscious dimension, and it's a mystery. Seems a little bit of a mystery why we have this conscious dimension to our lives, but also this kind of deeper, more tricky kind of mind-body kind of problems, how do we know? How does the conscious experience seems to be a non-physical kind of thing? It's hard to say that consciousness, a conscious experience, is just atoms moving a certain way. It may be caused by that, but it seems to be there seems to be more to it than just the atoms. Whereas just about any other thing we can talk about, like plate tectonics or the orbits of planets or football or something, ignoring the conscious experiences of football, are fully explained by being atoms sort of moving around. This consciousness seems to be more than that, or different to that. But then, how does the brain seems to know about consciousness? Because, like, for example, philosophers write about consciousness. I make videos about consciousness. So, how does the brain seems to have get all the information from this non-physical aspect or place or something? So how does the information? I mean, how do the atoms get moved, or the waves or whatever get moved or get interrupted or whatever, intercepted by this non-physical thing? So that's the kind of other problem that this non-physical explanation attempts to solve. I'm not necessarily a believer in this non-physical thing. It's a bit of an out there kind of idea, but anyway, I think it's some sort of possibility. It doesn't have this kind of tricky mind-body problem that that this kind of physical plus mental kind of view has. Oh yeah, forgot to mention. Yeah, a further thought I had about this non-physical theory is that okay, we have conscious experience. They go on for a while or whatever. We don't know how long they go on for. Our memories could be unreliable. It's hard to tell if things years ago really did happen to me. I mean, without a physical world, how does the information get stored anyway? The other thing I'm thinking of is the kind of rules of physics do seem to stay constant over time. I mean, if this was just a kind of conscious experience, you'd think it'd be more dreamlike. You'd like, you know, a flying mushrooms going around, or gravity wouldn't always be true, and that kind of thing. People would morph into other people or whatever, the kind of thing that happens in dreams, maybe. But what I was thinking is that an important feature of this universe I'm proposing here is what I've called expectations. I suppose they could be called just rules, or beliefs is another thing. But basically, I'm trying to say that over time in these mental experiences or scenarios we have, not that we are separate from the scenarios, but we are the scenarios really. These kind of rules do remain true over time. So I expect sort of the objects to fall, and they always fall, and that seems to be quite stable over time. That doesn't seem to change. So quite an important sub-feature of this model is we have the expectations we have seem to stay true, and those are kind of the rules of physics. Those are like things like the fact we're in a 3D universe that doesn't seem to change. Anyway, I've rambled for long enough, and I hope you found that interesting. All the best.